All right, we are live. So, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, the name is Catherine Arjon, or you could just call me KRJ. That is fine too. Today, I'm going to be answering your Procreate slash Clip Studio questions. I may not know all of the answers. I'm just going to share what I know. I'm not a pro either, and I am not sponsored by neither of the programs. I'm actually just answering mainly questions that other friends have actually asked me, which I found it interesting because there's so many resources out there. So I didn't think that people would actually ask me questions. So I was like, you know what? Why not go live and answer these questions? So that's what we're gonna do today. Um, and I am looking over on my phone because I need to make sure that we're going live properly. Yeah, it seems like we are. So I'm going to share. Already sharing my screen with you. I normally, when I go live, I draw. I might do that later, but for now, we're gonna do the some of the questions that my friends asked. There are other questions that I didn't answer in the last live that I did, 2 days ago, and I got new questions in, so I'm gonna answer those as well as we go. So first, let's go to Clip Studio. I'm actually gonna look at this side too because the way I have two monitors, it's set up is quite difficult to show exactly what I'm doing. So let me see. All right. So the first thing I'm going to show you is so when you open up Clip Studio, this is how it's going to look like, right? To open up anything, if you're brand new to it, obviously you might not know all of this, but it's pretty straightforward. You come in File and you create a new file, right? And here you're gonna have different tabs. This is more just to simplify it. This is more for illustration. This is for more like web comic style, like kind of like webtoons, like those long form ones. This is more like manga comics, book style. This feature I haven't explored it yet. So I'll have to come back to you about that one. And this one's animation. Now, I don't know how to do animation very well in Clip Studio because I haven't really explored into it. It's a little intimidating for me personally, but it's something that I'll have to dig into eventually. I do, however, I started doing this for Procreate. They just released Procreate Dreams not too long ago, and that's an animation based program, which is pretty cool. And they I've already tried like exploring into it. I don't know everything yet, but I got some stuff down so far. All right. So for the purpose of this video or this live, we're gonna click on the illustration. This whole thing here, this is really about. I feel like it's more about preference, what you're working on. We're just gonna leave it here because going into these details might take a lot longer than it should. So we're just gonna leave it like that. I'm just gonna press OK. And this is actually kind of big. So let's try that again. Okay. Um, gotta look at here. Okay, let's try that again. So new, right? I think I am gonna change the size to this because it looks a little big. So let's try 25 by think that's about right. Let's just keep it there. I think that's a better size. Here we go. Okay. Now, again, it's really what you're doing. You can even change it into a box or whatever. Really, measuring is a little difficult for me because I'm still learning a lot more on that. But okay, so the way I have it set up might be different the way yours looks like. I have all my brushes on this side. I have some of the navigation here, like sizing up our brushes. Let me make this a little bigger so you can actually see it better. Size brush Here, as you can see in the screen, the opacity. Well, I always keep it 100 because, we want it at 100. And then there's other things that you can, like stabilization. Depends if your pen can draw, stabilize, for example. This is how it looks like for me right now, right? So if I were to, now where's my cursor? Okay, if I were to pump it up, it's probably gonna delay it a little bit, but it's gonna make it either jagged or or more stable. It's really on preference. So I'm gonna go back to where I was, and I'm gonna keep it around right here. And then you just play around what you want to do with that. Okay, so brushes are here. So you can find different brushes here. You can pen, pencil, other brush tools, airbrush. Decoration is like other types of brushes. These are the prefixed ones, the ones that come with it. So it comes with this one, which is, I think, is pretty cool. See that? Obviously you can find a lot of videos on this. There's gradient, the bucket tool, and then these. For example, you can make like a triangle with this. Bam. And you can actually make some of the panels with that too. And then these are actual panel ones, I think. Frame borders, that's what they're called. And then the rulers, like symmetry. How does the symmetry work? We can do more in-depth stuff later on this. Grab I'm gonna draw here, as you can see. I tapped on it like I could touch it with my fingers, but it's not like the iPad. I'm so used to the iPad at this point. Okay, so all right. For that said, you get the idea. This is where we have most of those tools, and then we have like text and other stuff, and then color changing is down here. So you double click it, and you could choose your color. Press OK, and obviously we have the color wheel. We have this style. This is the color wheel. Sorry, this one is called. Oh, there's two different color wheels. Okay, 1 and 2, and then color sets, and then I think this is another color set. But I usually keep it in this one because I prefer this one personally. Okay. With that said, we can actually. So okay, on my left hand side, I'm trying to open this more. Okay, here we go. You can see that's our screen right there. It's like a miniature version of it. And then we have all these buttons, which could be intimidating. And this is where our layers are at, right over here, right? So if you don't see this on your screen, what you could do is you go to Windows, I think that's what it is, and you're going to click on layer, and it's going to pop up. Okay? And then layers property as well. Okay? That's what you would do to make that pop up. So the question was, it was about layers. Let me actually go back to the question real quick because I want to remember specifically what he was asking. So, if I could find it. Okay. Okay. So I do remember my friend asking about the layers and how he felt like it didn't it wasn't working out for him. So you see how I have this layer right here on it says 100% normal layer 1, right? So normally that's the layer you would get, and then you would get this bottom one that you really can't do much with, but it's basically the lower layer of the actual layer that you're going to work on. I don't know if that makes sense. So this layer, you either could leave it white or you can just change it into a different color. See that? But for this sake, I'm going to leave it white for now. And I can teach you other like keys, but we could do that later. So for this video, this thing, I'm going to actually delete this layer, the one that we were just using, and I'm going to start up a new one. So the way you do that is you press right here. It says where it says new raster layer. You could press there, or you could press a new vector layer. Now, the difference between vector layers and raster layers, there's many different things, but one of the main things is that, for example, if you wanted to size up a drawing, like a line art, I would recommend to use vector layers because they don't pixelize and they size up really well. So line work, I will always recommend doing vector layers, but it is quite tricky to get to learn how to use it because there's different things, like even erasing it might be tricky. But you just play around, and if you do have any questions on this, just let me know. Um, and then raster layers, I normally use raster layers too, because I actually even forget that the vector layers are there. So I use the raster layer. So that's how you click on here, and this pops up. So a way you can name it is you double click it, and then you just name it. I don't know, line art. Let's say you could do it that way, and then I in the last live that I show like an eye. I drew an eye and all that, but I did it in Procreate, which is very similar still. Like I feel like a lot of these programs have very similar ways of doing things. But not exactly the same. So that's your layer. I'm sure that's pretty straightforward and you understand that part. Now, if you wanted to group these like in a folder, you will go right over here on new layer folder, right? And then what you would do is click on that layer and drop it in there. And now you see it's kind of like together. So that's really cool. So you can work in sections. So for example, if you wanted to um, rename that folder, just let's say like I don't know, body outline or body, or let's say that actually something face, right? The face. You want to work on the face. So you have a layer of the outline of the face, right? And then you have the layer of coloring. That's a different layer. And then let's say like detail, not details, but like maybe shading. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up as we go. Shadow, not shadow, shading. Okay, so I'm trying to remember if this is very similar to, because I haven't worked in Clip Studio in a while. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna draw an example. Um, I'm gonna draw an eye again. Oh, why is my pen? Oh, we're gonna have to figure that out. I don't know what happened. Um, why is that happening? This is my other issue that I have with Clip Studio. Sometimes my pencil starts acting up, and I still haven't figured out how to properly. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. All right. Let me see if I could use an example. And you might see some stuff in here that hopefully is not inappropriate because I am doing a GL that's okay, let's use this drawing. I haven't finished it. I'm gonna give you an example of what I do. Looks very weird right now. Looks kind of sized weird. Okay, so if you see on the layers how many layers I have, yeah. So I don't normally name them all the time because I forget, and then as you can see there's some of them that aren't unboxed. That's because I redraw it and do it again. And then sometimes I use 3D models to help me. Guys, using your sources is not a bad thing. So use them if you need to. So let me see if I can move this to the side. Trying to see where my line work is at. I'm trying to see if it's at the top. Okay. So that, I don't know if you can see it, the sunflower going in and out. So that's actually a brush that I use to help me to create the drawings, as you can see. Um, okay, I guess the line work that I have is all separated because I'm insane. You don't have to do it the way I do. You could do all your line work, you see, in one layer or two layers. Do not do what I do because I'm just insane. And what I do is after I do all these like line works, what I do is I'll show you here. I left right click it on my mouse, and then I end up merging all the layers that are highlighted. So you have to make sure that those layers that you don't want to merge are not highlighted, meaning they're not like with the little eyeball here. That way it doesn't merge. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you need to understand it better, please let me know. I don't know if my explanation is that great when it comes to that. So all right, so that's what I would do. I'm not gonna do it now because I don't want I'm not done with the image. So there's that. I'm trying to also find the skin layer. Oh, here we go. I found the skin. I think this is the skin. Here we go. Okay, so I guess it is kind of similar to Procreate. So my coloring, it's under the layer of the line work. That way it shows under the lines, and it's looks like it's actually part of it rather than it bleeding. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm going to show you an example. So you see how all of this is line work on the top. If I move this all the way to the top, let's suppose, see how it shows? Now you can't see the line work. Well, this might work for you, especially if you're really good at like working without lines, because I know some people can work without the lines and do really, really, really well. I am not that person. I cannot do that. So that's why I do it this way. And this is just the way I do it. People do it differently. You can actually find your way of doing it, and that's fine. You just do what you got to do. So that's a few things on layers. If there's anything else, please let me know down in the chat or like comment or like private message me or whatever, and just let me know. Another way, like if you want to find like if you want to like make the opacities less, this bar right here can help you with that. So we're on the skin layer, right? So if I want it to be lighter, but just keeping that, this kind of makes it transparent. So you can do that. This kind of also helps. This tool helps also, um, in a sense, like if there's details that you want to look at and you're not able to because of that color is there, you can do that and work on it and then just put it back to normal. That's what I do. So there's that. There's many other things you can use, like for example, the lock here that says lock the transparent pixel. What this does is when I use it on the skin layer, suppose I am coloring the skin, right? And I didn't want to go outside this area because I already colored it in and I wanted to add more detail. Oh, that's not it. Am I in the right layer? Mistakes happens. Oh, is that the right one that I'm thinking of? Oh, here we go. I got it now. Okay. So, oh, I think it was on before I did that. So, see how I press this one? It says lock transparent pixel. Um, we usually call that the alpha lock. So it's called differently in different places. So suppose I wanted to color inside of the skin. That's the only place that it will color in, where it's color, where basically the layer that I locked, that's the color, that's the layer that's going to get colored. Outside of that, it won't, nothing will happen. So I hope that makes sense. If you need a little bit more in depth, let me know. Again, explaining is not my thing. I usually don't even do tutorials, but I hope that helped. So that's the cool feature about that. Lock layer. I think lock layer. I've never really used this one. I think this, you're not able to do anything on it. Yep, I figured that's what it was. You can't do anything on that layer if you lock it. Set as draft layer. I have never used this one. There's a lot of tools that I haven't never used. So I don't know exactly what that one does. Reference layer. I don't usually use it here on Clip Studio, but I use it in Procreate, which I actually like now. But the thing about reference layer, which is this little lighthouse thing, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a little lighthouse thing. When you use the reference layer, try to use it on your outlines. That way, when you're coloring, sometimes you can even drag and drop the color in there and it just automatically fills it up for you. But the one thing you have to keep in mind is that all your layers, all your line work has to be together in one layer, or it depends on what section you're working on. And there shouldn't be any holes, like any gaps or any openings in there, because otherwise it's not going to work. It's just going to bleed through the whole canvas, if that makes sense. I can do more on that later if anybody wants an in-depth on that. Um, it's because I'm kind of moving along with it very quickly. Next thing I want to talk about is I haven't used clip to layer before. I've never used that before, so I won't get into that one. We got other things here that I've never really used. Oh, we got history right here. We got the layers again, and then timeline. I think this is more for the animation aspect. Haven't used it. You're probably not going to use all the features here. But what I wanted to get into, I'm going to go back into my layers, is something really, really cool. Gonna full warn you, you might see some some adultish stuff. And I keep putting it out there because my content is really actually for 18 plus, not for younger audience. Hopefully I won't get like demonetized or something. So anyways, you click here where it says quick access, right? You have everything here. Undo. If you don't know the keys, this is a cool way of like doing it. Undo, redo, delete, cut, copy, paste, scale, rotate, free transform. So free transform gives you the ability to really kind of make the art into different ways, little shapes. So if we want to stretch it out more to make exaggerated or whatever the case is, it depends on what you're doing. This really works great for like text and things like that. And then you're able to flip your canvas, vertical or horizontal. You can reset your display. So if you put it a certain way, you can put it back where it was. Decrease and increase the brushes, and then there's other quick ones. I think there's another one. There's yeah. But anyways, digress. So here under the quick access, you have materials, all the materials. Meaning if you have 3D models and all that stuff in your library, that's where it's going to be. So we're going to click on it. Full warning. So I have a just stuff, okay? I just click right through it because I don't want to demonetization. So you're probably wondering, like, so okay, you have all these things. How the heck do I get it? This is how you get it. So we're gonna open up this a little bit more so you can see it, and open up this one a little bit more too. Okay, so see where it says search for materials on assets. Use your assets. This is there for a reason. There's a lot of free ones, but there's also paid ones. And just a full warning, Clip Studio is a paid program. So I think they have a one-time feature one, and then they have a monthly basis one, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall. I think I have the monthly basis or the yearly basis one. It is what it is. You'll have to do more digging on that. So now I don't know if you can see this one right here. Hopefully you can. I'm actually trying to see if my live shows that I can show you that. Hopefully. Well, anyways, hopefully you'll be able to see that. So here we're at the search bar, and this is how you search. You can actually browse with whatever they show you here. And you might find really cool like assets here. And if you really scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see recommendation materials. So anything from drawing and painting to comics or manga, design patterns, animation, 3D models, and other official Clip Studio materials. There's even tutorials and stuff like that you can find. And then you can see like their ads on whatnot. So if you click on the right over here in the search bar, let's say let's look for, I don't know, 3D backgrounds, 3D. You can actually go more detailed, obviously. Oh my god, I just pressed the wrong thing. So 3D backgrounds. Okay, so here. So you're gonna see some of them say free, some of them say like something CP or G. These are gold and these are chippies. I don't remember the name of it. I used to have some, but I think they expired already a while ago. But that's fine. It is what it is. So, for example, let's click on this free one. This looks like a shrine or something of some sort, and you click on it, and it's free. You can look at the description. As you can see, this is how it would look like as an image. Um, And the cool thing is about 3D models is that you're able to play around with it. So like find a certain angle on it. And I'm gonna actually like this because this is something I'll probably download for. Actually, I'm gonna download it right now. And then you just click right here and you download it. Now it's gonna take probably like a minute or two to, depending how fast your computer is. Um, it may take a little bit to your computer to read it, if that makes sense. Need some water. So let's give it a little bit. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Or if you just want to say hi, that's fine too. All right. So we'll go here. We'll go back to the Clip Studio and then click the materials. Usually it refreshes really quickly, but it hasn't. Okay, let me tap out of it real quick. Sometimes that's what does. Okay, that didn't work. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click on download. And it still hasn't, like, my computer's a little slow for some reason when it comes to this, but hopefully I can get it. Okay, it hasn't downloaded. 3D. Yeah, my computer's a little slower than some of the computers, so I do apologize about that. But it should work right away for you once you download it. Okay, let's pretend it did download, okay? I'm gonna click on 3D and then backgrounds. And then, by the way, it comes with some already. And some color ones, some black and white ones. Okay, we're gonna just pick a random one, okay? Because my brain is like, girl, why isn't your stuff working? Let me see if I can find a background. I know I have a plenty of them. La, la. Question to you guys: you guys can hear the music in the background? And if you can, that's awesome. But if you can't, I don't know why it's not working. I'm trying to find. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of. Now I'm embarrassed. Okay. Okay, budget patterns. Where are my 3D models? Like, okay. Okay, let's just try a small object. I'm gonna open up a new layer, actually. Not a new layer, a new project. So you're gonna go to File, New, and then Open. Okay. I'm gonna try downloading. This version does not support this material. Okay. I guess I need to up. Okay. Let's try this classroom. Okay. Now click on it. Press OK. My brain is like. So one way you could do it is by dragging it. You just drag it on here. Yes, I know you have to download it, blah, blah, blah. So it's gonna, depending on your computer and what software you have, like what version of it, it might take a little bit, like I mentioned before. But I think it's just downloading right now. This material cannot be downloaded to the cloud. Do you want it to? Yes, we want that. Like, why isn't it doing it? Technical difficulties. I haven't used this in a while too, so that could be another reason. I might have to like update the software. Okay, let's see. It's not. Wow, it's really weird. It's not doing what I'm asking it. Okay, let's try a different one. Maybe this one would work. Here we go. Okay, finally something worked. Okay. Yeah, I think I might have to update my thing. So this is a 3D model of a beer can. So if you can see, I can move it around. I can see the bottom of it. I can see the top of it. So this is a really, really cool feature that you can take advantage of when you're drawing. So especially if you're going to be doing comics or like webtoons, suppose for this scene you have like a character that's kind of looking down and you see this the perspective of the can. That is one way of doing it. Like you can just like draw the hand on the can, like kind of around here, and then draw the can. So you can, I think you can actually use the the 3D model as it is, or you can just trace over it in a sense like you want to draw it yourself. And then I think if you have the other, because there's two versions of Clip Studio. There's the Clip Studio Paint, and then there's XE. I don't remember the names, but the one I have is the more simple version because I couldn't afford the other one. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford it. And for the other one, you're able to actually take the 3D model and make it like a grayscale and make it look like a comic picture image. I don't know if that makes sense. But what I usually do is I just, let's suppose this is the how I want it to look, and I wanted to make it look a little bit smaller. I think this is where we click. No. Let me see. My eye visions. Okay, so there's like these different little tabs here. There's like this like rotation forward and back. There's zooming in and out. There's this other one that kind of gives you a more dramatic like angle, and then there's this one that you're able to move around the item without like affecting the viewing of it. There's different ones, and then there's one that you can move side to side. It's a lot. You really have to experiment to see. Um, so I wanted the camera. I don't think this is. I think this is the one that. Here we go. Okay, so the third one is the one that helps you give you that zoom in and out, right? So suppose I wanted to look a little bit like more, little less big than it was, and I wanted to draw on it. You can either pick again the raster layer or the vector layer. And then this is where I would draw. Now I'm having difficulties with my pen right now. I have to figure out how to fix that. Again, I don't know everything. There's still a lot of things that I'm learning how to properly use the Wacom. I think it has to do with my Wacom and not the program itself. Because my Wacom is like an older version, and it glitches out on me sometimes. So yeah. Um Let me make this smaller and see if I can actually draw. I'm gonna attempt to. So I'm on the layer. So this layer right here, this is the 3D model. This is a new layer that I just put it there. So let's try to see if I can draw. I can't promise you I will be able to, but yeah. So it's not drawing. What is happening? Let's okay, that's small. Too small, too big, too big. Okay, let me see something. Yeah, it's not working on me. I don't know why. That's strange. When you're trying to create, oh, there it goes. That was delayed. Okay. So it is a little delayed. I don't know how to it's not letting me like draw properly. That is really strange. See, I'm not used to like drawing and being live at the same time. So that could be another thing. I don't know. Oh, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's happening with my pen because it's not letting me draw. So just to explain, this but it lets me draw with my pen, with my mouse, not with the actual. Yeah, it has to. It's most likely my Wacom that's being weird. So this where I drew this weird circle. This is where the hand would be, like holding the can, and I would draw obviously there. Like I would draw the hand here. This is a weird looking hand. Obviously, this is not how I usually draw because I'm drawing with my mouse. And then I would draw other details, like maybe this is a table somewhere and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that makes sense. I am so sorry for this horrible drawing. But yes, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So the hand, and then you will go into finer detail. So if you wanted to draw the can, let's suppose it's gonna be horrible because I'm drawing with my mouse. Yeah, this doesn't look anything like a can. Oh my goodness. Oh my no, okay, no. Anyways, so I drew in my details. Obviously, I would draw way better than this. Okay. You can do it this way, like you trace it like that. But if you feel like you're not sure how it looks like, one thing you could do is click on the 3D model and actually lower the opacity so it can help you like guide better, if that makes sense. And then once you're done, you can just click on it. Look at my weird looking can. Obviously, I'm sure you will draw it a lot better than this. But I hope that makes sense. We're like flying through, I hope. So that's a one way you can do it, like by using the 3D models. There's many other ways of doing it. I'm not an expert of no way in shape and form. I'm just telling you what I know and what I do. Okay. Um, and then obviously you have other 3D models like characters. These are okay. Let me open this up a lot. So these are the presets ones that come with it. I've never used these personally. You can, but I've never used them. And then we have poses like entire body. These are all that I downloaded. They have hands, which is really cool because sometimes certain hand postures or poses are so hard to do. And I ain't got the skill for it. That's just why back in the days I used to draw the characters with their hands behind their head. I mean, behind their body, they're behind their head or in their pockets. Because hands or feet are very, very hard to draw. Hey, what's up, dude? I actually answered your question on layers and all that. So if you want, you can ask again, or you can watch it later. But is there, besides the layers questions, what other questions did you have about Clip Studio? Um, I can try to answer for you. I can't promise you it will be perfect, but so far I've covered layers, some of the layer stuff, like the assets in Clip Studio and how to use some of them. Not perfect because my pencil is being weird and I can't draw, so I have to use my mouse. um, and yeah, so if you have any questions, like feel free to ask. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So what else can I show? So we have like obviously 3D models, 3D hands, poses. Like if you're looking for a specific pose and you don't have anything, let's suppose you can go back to search on material assets. And sometimes it pops up in the bottom, like maybe some suggestions that they have, like this one right here. Um, and I'm listening to your tutorials. All good. Again, like my tutorials are not like the best. But I'm trying. I'm not really used to giving tutorial advice because I've never felt like I was that skilled in a sense of like showing people what to do, even though some people tell me otherwise, and I'm just like, "Are you sure about that?" Because I don't know. I'm kind of terrible at like explaining things, but I try my best. Oh, this is really nice. But I don't have the gold for it. Man, I'll have to get it later. Okay, so again, I don't know. I don't know. By the way, are you able to see? Because I can't tell. Yeah, I think you guys can't see. I just realized that. Okay, so let me do something real quick. I'm gonna go to Streamyard because I'm using Streamyard. Okay, somebody just wrote to me. I just got distracted. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Give me a sec. I'm trying to figure this out real quick. Stop. Okay. And then present, share screen. There we go. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I got it now. Okay, because I was just showing a specific window. That's what happened. Okay. So earlier when I was showing you guys the assets, you probably didn't see anything that I did. I apologize. This is why I need like people to like respond. Oh, okay, that's a lot. Okay, what is happening? Okay, let me click out of this and go over here. Okay. You can probably see this now. Yep, yes you can. I looked over my on my other screen. So, how do we do this? How do we get here? So you're in your Clip Studio, right? And you're right where the layers and the assets are at. You're gonna click here, search for materials and assets. You click on it, and that window will pop up. The one I was just showing you, that one. This was it was not showing at all earlier. I apologize. So if you go down, you can find already some materials available for you. I'm gonna repeat myself at this point. And some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for. You can buy gold and all that to purchase it, but you don't need to buy anything if you do not want to. You can use all their free materials. They have a lot of it. So, suppose you want to look for a pose, guy sitting down. Let's put sitting. Boom. I'm probably going to show some stuff like that. All right. Oh my goodness. What is happening? There's Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So this is a cool pose. I'm going to click on this one. He says sitting guy, he's talking to somebody. And you're going to click over here where it says free on the top and then download. You click on that. And we're going to like it because, I want to remember that it's there just in case it doesn't download like it did earlier, right? So it says the material is downloading and it tells the instructions and whatever. And then again, like I said earlier, my computer is a little weird and slow. So we're gonna click here where it says all materials, and it didn't download again. I think I'm gonna have to do like an update on my. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do an update on my on this software. So we're gonna just use a random one that I have. So it's suppose you already have one, the one that you want, right? I'm gonna open up a new project again because I'm weird. I don't like to see all that stuff there when I'm trying to work. I'm gonna let's see. Okay, person taking notes. I found this one. This is another guy sitting, and you're gonna just drag it in there and see how you could just see the front view of it. And then if you click your mouse on the left side, you click on the canvas, and you can see the lines in the bottom. That's indicating that you're able to move it in, out, and side to side. So right now we're in the in and out tab, which is this one right here, the third tab. If you want to like make it go around, let me see. Let me double check if it's this one because I want to make sure. No. All right. So this one, you're able to move it around without affecting the image. This one, you're able to change the perspective of it up and down, side to side. Right? Now, let's suppose you wanted to actually change like the limbs of the or the limbs, the angle of the like the arm or the head. Let's choose the head. You just click on the head, and you're probably gonna see something like this world thing, right? But you have to actually click on it. Don't because some so the this one will change it and in a bigger scale. But if you want to be more detailed, you can just click the head like this. This green line right here that turns yellow will indicate it going up and down. Or why isn't it working? There we go. Up or down. The red one here is the side to side, right? And then this one is like going around. It's like you really have to play around with it. And it's really weird because sometimes I ask, not ask, but I try to make it move a certain way, and it's just like going somewhere else. I'm like, what are you doing? Calm down. So you have to really be patient and like just play around with it. So let's suppose I wanted to move the chest around. So I want the chest to go to the side, right? You could go side to side. You could go up and down. That's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to go up or down. There you go. And then side to side. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you got some exercise going on. Yeah. So let's suppose you want him one leg to have it forward a little bit. So you can go up. So I can go forward. See how it is? The angle changed. And then it goes back. That doesn't look a little normal. So you want the thigh to go down. So you click on the thigh and then you make it go down this way like that. Or do you want it up? That looks weird, but let's suppose you want to do something a little bit more advanced. You want him to like cross his legs. I don't know. So we're gonna click on this thigh again. And then have him cross this way. And then the other thigh cross the other way. But you're gonna have to like play around with it, see if what works. And like move it around to see if it looks good. That's a simple way of doing it. And that's how you play around with the 3D model's body. You can do the same with the hands and the feet and all that, limbs and whatever. Another thing you can really do with these 3D models, you can customize them in a way that fits your character. One way you could do that is when you see this bar right over here, you're going to click that last one right here. It says adjust body shape and size of 3D figure, drawing figure. That's a long and detail. That's long, but you're going to press there. I'm going to put this bigger, right? And ways you could do it is you can use this little chart here. So you're going to see right away that it's going to, oh, I just realized you can't even see it. Let's actually drag in another 3D model before we do this. Let me just click it off real quick. Let's choose a 3D model that's standing. I'm sure we have. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to not delete it, but we're going to put it away, the other one. So I have some pre-made ones already. This one, Yamato, that's a pre-made one. And then this one right here, it's the one that comes in the assets. So you're going to just drag and drop. And we got our male here. Let's move him back a little bit because I can't really see him. There we go. So you're probably like, man, this guy is way too skinny. We need to put some meat on him, like or some muscle. All right, so you click on there on the place that I told you. Move this a little bit so you can see the 3D model, and you can change. You see, you go up and down. You can change the muscle amount or like how big or how slim he is, but we're gonna go back to normal, like to the size that he was already. Another way you can do it is by actually clicking certain parts of the body. Example, the head. You want to make the head longer. You can just go up, or if you want to make it smaller, you can make go down, depending on the body proportions and the style that you have. You can make it wider or narrowed. I don't know. This always cracks me up. I don't know why, but it's really cool. The shoulders, you can make it wider. Oh, that's really cool, actually. And then, or I mean, that doesn't look. Yeah, I'm thinking this is more childlike size. Same for the torso. If you're a type of your character is more of a torso character, that he has a lot of torso. There you go. Doesn't have any torso, and he's kind of short. And short kings are valid, so we got him. There. Um, this is how wide or narrow their hips are, looking like Kim K, if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know what human really looks like this, but you get the point, right? And then there's also, I think it's just side to side. Yeah, I think that's only side to side. And then legs, you got them thick thighs. Look at them thick thighs. Yes, juicy. And then you got the really, really skinny, skinny, skinny. So obviously you play around with the range that works for you. Um, Another cool thing is, suppose you have a specific height. Now this goes by centimeters, not feet. So you'll have to convert it. Probably just go on Google or something. And I think let's try my height. I think I'm like actually I'm gonna have to double check because I don't even know. I think I'm like 158. Let me double check. So I'm 5'2" in inches. Yeah, I'm 157. So let's put 157. Short king. Oh, 58. Sorry, 57. Short king. Here we go. See how the dramatic change? Look. So he went from 175.1 to 157, and he's a short king now. Look at that. And you want him to have a little bit more meat on him. Kind of like I am, because I'm kind of like, I'm a big plumpy girl. Add some meat. Got a little plus size king here. There you go. Well, he's probably not plus size, but he's a little thicker. And then you can do that for the arms too. There you go. Let's add a little bit of meat on those arms. There we go. And you got a little muscle definition going on too. The feet too. You can change the feet to being longer in a sense, like he gonna be like Bigfoot. And you can't see it. Let me see if I can change the perspective. I forget which one it is. I always forget, to be honest. This is why I say you gotta. There you go. Oh my god, he got some small feet. Okay, we're gonna change that. Okay, there you go. That's probably bigger. I don't know why they say about big feet. No, stop. That's not appropriate. But anyways, um, and your girl got some big ass feet. That's all I got to say. But anyways, so you can do that, and you can change the not just like the size, like lengthwise, but obviously how much width it has. So you can do that. And the hands too. So hands, you can make them shorter, I think. And then longer or thicker or slimmer. So that is a really cool thing. So you can really play around with that and like customize the 3D models at your liking and how they would fit for your characters. Um, and then you can also change like the angles of the hands and that. Like this whole thing goes. This is more in depth. Maybe I'll do that in a future video. Now there's this thing called manga perspective. So what this does is that you just watch the 3D model's head, right? So I don't know if you could. Oh, actually, it's not just the head. You see the hands, how it changes a little bit, just a slight bit. So what that does is in manga, especially in the poses, they're a bit more drastic and more dramatic and all that. So that feature will give you that perspective you want with the 3D models. And then there's this thing called the outline here. So I don't know if you could tell the different. Oops. Oh my gosh, he is like. Okay. See, do you see how this one has an outline now and it doesn't when I take it off? That is optional. This is just to help you guide, like you can actually make it thicker or not. This is gonna help. This is for that drawing part when you like trace it under a new layer, just to help you get better. Now, what I would say is when it comes to the tracing part with the 3D models, you can either do it exactly how it looks like or just use it as a guide, even if you do trace over it. Um, I know some people feel like indifferent about it, but my opinion is that you gotta learn somewhere, especially when you're just starting. Um, I say if you're going to trace it exactly how it looks like, just remember that there's a lot of other people doing the same thing. So if you want your art to look a little different or want it to stand out, try to make your own, like put your own like flavor, a little like um style to it. So yeah. And then we go back, right? Where are we? I can't go to the other ones because I haven't. Oh, so actually, light source. So this is really cool too. So if you look at the 3D model, how it changes. So this will help you also with the light sources. So light source come from the back, from the front, and all that. I haven't experimented much with this, which I will because let me tell you, I suck at the light sources. I usually do the one that I'm most familiar, that the light source either comes from the back side of it or like directly from like the side front. Those are the ones, like the two ones I use. I don't use the other ones because I'm scared out of my mind to like. I think I'm traumatized by teachers. That's what it is, and professors. so, so this is a really cool feature. Listen, I don't know it all, and you probably don't either. And this is a tool that's gonna help you. Use your tools. Use all the tools you have. Learn from it. Practice, even if it's like it feels tedious. Like practice, practice, practice. And I'd say that out of like a person that hasn't taken the time to practice that much because unfortunately I have kids. Not unfortunately, but I have kids, so it takes me a little bit more time than other people. But if you have no kids, take all the time you need. Obviously, I know that you may have a job or you have responsibilities as well, but if you have the time, do it. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you on this part is I want to go back to here we go. So body shape. Suppose you want to save this. Like this is the body shape you wanted to save or the pose or whatever you wanted to do, right? You go right here, registered material. You click on it, you name it. I'm going to put test. And then we'll go right here where it says choose save location. Now you could put it in all materials or you could put it under 3D. Let's put it under 3D and then press OK. And then eventually what you could do is use this 3D model as an asset. The same one that you just. I know that there's additional steps that you have to do after. Um, but I might show that in a different day. Oh, actually, wow, it already saved in my. Oh, there goes the other 3D stuff that I downloaded earlier that didn't show. I told you my computer is weird. Like it just takes time to do stuff. So I'll show you right now. Now that it's actually up on my thingy majig, my thingy magic. So here's the testing one, the one we just literally made. So I would just click on it and then drag it up there. Okay, why are you all the way up there, sir? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Twinsies. You see how easy that was? And you can actually make brushes out of these too. So if you were like, oh, I don't know if I can use the 3D model, or like I wanted to use the 3D model, but I wanted to make brushes out of them, you can do that too. If you want to know how to do that, let me know for next time, because I actually do have to go soon. But I before I do, I wanted it to see if there was any Procreate questions. I don't think I actually did any Procreate stuff today. I was mainly focused on Clip Studio. So with that said, um, let me see if I can actually do any Procreate. If you have any questions, especially you, Danny, 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 you hear me? Dandy, Dandy, Dandy. I don't know why I say it like it's Dana. But anyways, if you have any questions, let me know. So what can I do? Okay, let me go back to my camera and stop sharing my screen. Yeah, hi. Okay. So this is I'm gonna be using yeah, you're laughing at my misery, aren't you? Um I'm gonna show you some stuff on my Clip Studio on my Procreate. My brain is just like, oh, you're doing everything you're weird today. Um, as you guys are aware, this is how Procreate looks like. You're probably aware of that. And I showed yesterday a little bit on it. So the way you can open on if you don't know how to use Procreate, this is how your gallery would look like. There's a little plus sign right here. And I can do this better next time. You press the plus sign, and then normally you could do you could choose whatever you want. I'm just gonna choose. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can't even see it. Oh, that sucks. It says screen size, square, 4K, A4, 4x6 photo, paper, comics, face paint. I don't know what face paint is, to be honest. And then a couple of untitled canvases that are different sizes. So for the sake of this, I'm gonna just press the top one, the screen size, and it's gonna open up blank canvas. And then if I wanted to open up the layers, I would click right here where these little square boxes is, and I will click that. And that's where the layers are at. And then if you wanted a new layer, you just press the little plus sign on the top, and it opens up a new layer. Thank you. I appreciate it. Dude, like all jokes aside though, I've been wanting to stream for a while. Because I feel like even though I can make pre-recorded videos, when it comes to the talking aspect, I feel like it adds a lot more work. But if I'm streaming, I'm able to talk my ear off. Well, my mouth off, rather. But I did want to answer a couple of more questions before I left. But yeah, if you want a more in-depth Procreate stuff, for anybody that watches later or is watching now, let me know. And I'm gonna have to probably change the title to this live stream, because I didn't really get to the Procreate stuff because I'm actually running out of time. But I'm gonna answer a couple of questions that I got yesterday that I didn't get to do it like 2 days ago. So I did answer some of the questions last time. I know I screenshotted it somewhere because I was like, I don't want to forget the questions. So I'm going to see if I can find the questions real quick. And somebody keeps writing to me, and I don't know because it's like under. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's not it. That's definitely not it. So I have two channels. I have an art channel and I have a dance fitness one. So some of the I got questions from the other channel. So I got it now. Okay. One of the questions was, what is like to having your work shown in social media? Well, to me, it's a pleasure and a privilege, I guess you could say, because and I say privilege because back in the days we really didn't have this. And I say back in the days, I make it sound like I'm so old and ancient, but if you think about it, uh back then we only had very few social media at like websites that let us post art, and then other places that we could post but it potentially get our art stolen. um And I think one of the big ones that we had for art was DeviantArt. And I remember they even had things like watermark. We would still get like sometimes people get try to steal our stuff. I don't think I ever had that problem, but I know that many artists did. But the problem that I had with DeviantArt, it was just like it felt very, I don't know, like closed up. I don't know if even though you were able to post things and sort of build that community, it just kind of died off after a while. And I remember I would post things in my Tumblr as well, but I don't know. It was just, I feel like now we have more of that freedom of like posting on social media and like making our art more exposed to, like so people can find it and like, kind of build that community. And but it is a lot harder now because it's so competitive. But it's not impossible because some people will go from like 0 to 1,000 to 1 million followers. Not that that really matters to me a whole lot. What I really want is to build a true community and like have people who genuinely like my art and like my stories and like are like-minded. And that's what I want though. So yeah, I think I am proud of what I've done so far, and I feel privileged to be able to post my stuff. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that either can't do it for many reasons, because our world is strange and chaotic, and a lot of stuff is going on around the world. Some people are not able to post these things because they're not able to express themselves depending on what part of the world they are in. And yeah, but yes, that I hope that answered that question. What would you like to do this year art wise? So right now, that's the next question, by the way. The next for this year, my focus is trying to build my story because I'm on my first draft still, and I'm working on a manga that I talked about it. Well, I say manga, but I sometimes say webtoon because I want to do both. Um, so I'm on the writing process right now. So I'm not actually doing like comic pages right now. Um, and that's one of the things that I want to do. I definitely want to put it out there this year and start building that, if that makes sense. I'm doing a lot more illustrations around it so people can start getting aware of where I'm at and what I'm doing. And that's where that community aspect comes in and start growing my community and stuff. So yeah. Um, Let me see it. There was another question, but I don't know if I missed it or I'm just gonna check. Yeah, I think that was probably it. I'm pretty sure there was other questions I just can't. I might have missed it because I put the question thing on Instagram, and Instagram stories they expire after like 24 hours, which kind of sucks. So I probably missed a couple of the questions, but with that said, I hope I answered everyone's question for now. You can always ask me other questions. That doesn't always have to be like art related in a sense. It could be anime related or music related. Like if you just want to get to know me. I know I had somebody last time that was I remember their username. I think it was called Thunder. They were asking me about K-pop, and that's completely okay. Listen, at the end of the day, it's really about having fun and like communicating and like building the community and yeah. But I hope you had a fun, and I hope that I was able to bring some value and some and good information to you. Um as always, you can always just comment below to if you have any questions or any requests. And yeah, I do want to ask to not to forget to like the video and subscribe if you did like things like this because it does help the algorithm and it helps me, grow as an artist and as a YouTube content creator. I want to be able to like bring really good value to you guys. Another thing is if you go, you helped a lot. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Like seriously, dude. Like, I even if you have any questions at any time, just feel free to ask. I'm not always gonna know the answers, but we definitely can look for it together and like help each other. I know that you have so much potential as an artist, and sometimes it can be scary. It can be feel like you're doing everything by yourself, or you don't know what you're doing. You may feel like that imposter syndrome, something that I feel often. So I get it. I so get it. But with that said, if you guys want to donate, little plug in there. I have it down in my description. I have buy me a coffee. Or if you want to look at any of the gear that I use and some of the links that I have down there, I have like the gears that I use, like my computer, my camera, the type of tablet that I use, the Wacom, and everything I use. Some are affiliate links, some are not. It says it on the thing. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next one. I might live stream again. Let me see. Today is Friday. I might live stream if I'm able to tomorrow again. If not, I'll come back Monday. So or Sunday. I don't know. I'll put it out in the community tab, and I'll let you guys know because I don't have a set schedule yet, so I'm figuring out what to do and stuff. So yeah, that's it. And don't forget to watch other videos that I have up. They might be old, but enjoy them and let me know what you want to see next. Bye. Okay, how do you click out of this? Still trying to figure out. Bye.